who really holds the torch when it comes to understanding the true essence of freedom and honoring the spirit of the Constitution? Is it Dr. Phil with his stern yet empathetic take on personal responsibility? Or is it Bill Maher with his brazen, no holds barred commentary on society's quirks? Imagine this. On one side, we have Dr. Phil, caught in a moment of profound conversation, delving into the complexities of individual liberty, and on the other, Bill Maher, lighting up the room with his infamous zingers that cut to the core of political correctness. These two men, these two worldviews, but who truly stands as a champion for American values and constitutional reverence? Stick around, and as we dive deep into this unusual debate between these titans of talk, we're going to be reacting to what was said in this video. So, please, without further ado, let's get to it.
We disagree a lot on is that you think family and faith are a big fix to the problems we have. I mean, I don't have a family, and I definitely don't have faith. So
You're definitely not part of the solution.
maybe I am.
No, here's the thing. I'm just saying that you come from a family,
I come from one, true.
so don't tell me you don't.
Yes.
Don't tell me you don't have a family.
Well, they're all gone now except my sister, yes.
So you got a sister.
But I didn't start a new family, is what I'm saying. And I'm an atheist, so I don't have religion. And I think the country's moving in my direction, by the way. More people than ever are single, and more people than ever don't have a religion. Now, you may think that's a bad thing and why we're going to hell in a handcart, but maybe it's also part of the solution. And it's certainly just where people want to be. I mean, when you say religion is the fix to this,
I didn't say
have you
that.
seen the Middle East?
I didn't say that.
Well, yeah, you did in the book.
No, I did not.
What do you say about family and faith, not the fix?
I said that for the first time in our country's history, membership in an organized religion has dropped below 50%. Now, here's why that's a problem. Here's why that's a problem, because that was one of the reasons that families got together at least once a week and spent quality time together. The reason it's dropped below 50% is because the reason they usually joined the church was because they wanted to have their children christened or baptized or whatever the ceremony was in that particular church. And our birth rate has dropped to 1.6. We need
So he's going to go on with the birth rate and everything like that. But I wanted to point out what Bill Maher's introduction stated. At the beginning, he said, I definitely don't have faith. It almost seems like he is mad or retaliating when he says that. But on top of that, though, is that the problem or the solution? Right? More and more people, like Bill Maher said, he said more and more people are leaning towards my line, my lifestyle, my way of thinking. More people are going to be single. More people are pointing towards atheism, not having an organized religion, and so forth and so on. And so I just want to be a neutral party here and ask you, has that worked? Has not having faith worked? Has not having a family, not believing in a family, has that worked? And I believe these truths will be self-evident, right? As if they'll work or not. What we want to know, so just to be sure that we're on the same page, these are two titans in talk, okay? The two titans in talk, and they are discussing rationally the possible solutions, right? Bringing up the problems, of course, but discussing the possible solutions. Dr. Phil has a solution perspective, and Bill Maher has a solution perspective. But which one of them actually aligns with what made this country great, right? So you might be wondering, man, how in the world are these two figureheads stacking up when it comes to understanding and championing our foundational freedoms? Of course, you know what the Constitution says. You know how it was inspired. It wasn't inspired by Luciferians. It wasn't inspired by. It was actually inspired by some dudes in some buckle shoes and a hat, called Christians, right? Called pilgrims. And so that's how the country actually began. And so what Dr. Phil is proposing is, hey, let's get back to some, probably not all, but some of what we had before. Because in any problem, you want to get to the source of it. And Bill Maher has a perspective, and Dr. Phil has a perspective. But which perspective has landed us with more freedoms, and which perspective has landed us with more doubts and more tyrants trying to run the country? And so, in this little snippet, I just wanted to bring that out. Which one do you think is for America? Which one do you think is for freedom? Remember, it started with that line of thinking that, you know what, we're going to adhere to these principles in this book called the Bible because it seems to work wherever it's implemented. Yeah. I mean, loving your neighbor, right? Loving God, right? These are instrumental to freedom because wherever the Spirit of the Lord is, there is freedom. And so I wanted to just bring that out as well as give you a bonus video on what the root of the problem in America is. Let's go ahead and look at this one. And I want to share this with you and I want to get your feedback on it. Watch this.
2.1.
One thing that unites all of them, because there's many different groups orbiting Trump, but the thing that unites them as Christian nationalists, not Christians, by the way, because Christian nationalists is very different, is that they believe that our rights as Americans, as all human beings, don't come from any earthly authority. They don't come from Congress. They don't come from the Supreme Court. They come from God.
I think
Okay, and then it goes over. But look. Isn't that what the Constitution is all about? Do you see how the ignorance in this nation has led to tyrants taking over? That's what happens. And it'll happen in a family, it'll happen in a business, it'll happen in the government, it'll happen in media, it'll happen anywhere there's ignorance. There's a void, there's a vacuum that is fulfilled by an enemy, and it'll be your enemy. You see, the founding fathers knew that these truths, we hold these truths, they said, to be self-evident. That means you don't have to prove it. Just go outside, look up, you'll see that there's clouds. That's the truth. Go outside, look up, you'll see that there's blue sky. That's the truth. Go outside, look around you. If you're in a place where there's trees, guess what? There's trees. These truths are self-evident. That's what they meant by that. That God has bestowed upon mankind certain inalienable rights. Okay? God did it, not government. Every American should believe that. It shouldn't be just the Democrats. It shouldn't be just the Libertarians or the Republicans. It shouldn't be just one gang or clique or party that believes that God gives us rights and not the government. It's God that gives us those rights. And everyone should align with reality. Folks, what do you think about Bill Maher versus Dr. Phil? What do you think about that lady that was trying to trash Christian nationalists but just ended up making herself look more ignorant? But that's okay. You know why? Because we're out here teaching folks what the Constitution's about. We're out here teaching folks what freedom looks like so that we can spread it even further. I want to say God bless you and thank you for watching Proclaim Liberty. Show me the truth. You take care.